In a small, bustling neighborhood lived Sophia, a 53-year-old widow with a heart burdened by loneliness. Her life revolved around her 4 grown-up children, all busy in their own worlds. Ever since her husband passed away 10 years ago, Sophia had dedicated herself to raising her children, often ignoring her own needs and desires. Her days were filled with mundane routines: cooking, cleaning, and occasionally helping her neighbors. Yet, as the nights grew longer and quieter, Sophia often found herself yearning for companionship. She missed having someone to share her thoughts with, someone to laugh and cry with. A glimpse of hope. One sunny morning, as Sophia watered the plants outside her small house, she noticed Ryan, the 25-year-old son of her next-door neighbor, fixing his bicycle. Ryan was a kind-hearted young man with a radiant smile and an energy that lit up every room he entered. Over the weeks, Ryan began greeting Sophia warmly whenever he saw her. Their brief exchanges, about the weather, neighborhood events, or gardening tips, soon turned into longer conversations. Ryan often shared stories from his university life, while Sophia talked about her children and her memories of a happier past. An unexpected connection. One evening, during a power outage, Ryan brought a lantern to Sophia's house. They ended up sitting together in her dimly lit living room, sipping tea and sharing their thoughts about life. Ryan, sensing Sophia's loneliness, expressed his admiration for her strength and resilience. "I can't imagine how you managed everything after your husband's passing," Ryan said. Sophia smiled wistfully. "It hasn't been easy. There are days when I feel invisible, like I don't matter to anyone anymore." Ryan looked at her with genuine compassion. "You matter, Sophia. You've raised amazing children and are one of the kindest people I know." For the first time in years, Sophia felt truly seen. The bond deepens. Over the following months, Ryan and Sophia's bond grew stronger. They often spent evenings discussing books, watching old movies, or walking in the nearby park. Their age difference didn't seem to matter. They connected on a deeper level, sharing a mutual respect and understanding. Sophia felt a newfound joy and purpose in her life, while Ryan admired her wisdom and kindness. Facing society's judgment. When their closeness became evident to the neighbors, whispers and judgments began circulating. Sophia's children were also taken aback when they learned about her friendship with Ryan. "Mom, he's young enough to be your son," her eldest daughter exclaimed. Sophia responded calmly, "Age doesn't define love or companionship. Ryan has been a true friend when I needed one the most. Don't judge what you don't understand." Ryan, too, faced criticism from his friends, who couldn't fathom his deep respect and affection for someone so much older. But he stood by Sophia, declaring, "She's more than her age. She's a remarkable woman who deserves happiness." Choosing happiness. Despite the challenges, Sophia and Ryan decided to embrace their unique connection. While their bond was unconventional, it was rooted in mutual care and understanding. They didn't label their relationship but allowed it to grow naturally, unbothered by societal expectations. Sophia's children eventually came to accept their mother's happiness, realizing that her joy and well-being were more important than conforming to traditional norms. A new chapter. Sophia's life transformed. With Ryan's encouragement, she started a small baking business, something she'd always dreamed of but never pursued. Their partnership extended beyond emotional support. They became each other's biggest cheerleaders. Ryan, inspired by Sophia's resilience, completed his studies and started volunteering at a local community center. Together, they built a life filled with laughter, understanding, and love, proving that connections born out of kindness and mutual respect can defy societal boundaries. Moral of the story *. Love and companionship know no age limits. What matters most is the authenticity of the bond and the courage to stand against societal prejudices. As time went on, Sophia and Ryan found peace and happiness in each other's company. However, the social pressure around them didn't ease. The neighbors continued to gossip, and Sophia's simple life once again became a target of criticism and judgment. One day, Sophia's youngest son, Ethan, who had always been close to his mother, came home unexpectedly. He walked in to find Sophia and Ryan laughing together while sorting through some old family photos. The sight was strange to him, and his face showed confusion and unease. "Mom," Ethan said cautiously, "what's going on here?" Sophia took a deep breath. It was time to face the inevitable questions from her children. A mother's truth. "Ethan," Sophia began gently, "Ryan has been a source of comfort and joy in my life. I know this might be difficult for you to understand, but after all these years of loneliness, I found someone who makes me feel alive again." Ethan frowned, unsure of how to respond. "But he's so young, Mom. How can this even work?" Ryan spoke up, his voice calm and respectful. "Ethan, I understand your concerns. I don't see Sophia as just her age. She's an amazing person who has taught me so much about life, strength, and love. This isn't something we planned, it just happened." Ethan looked at his mother, who seemed happier and more at peace than he had seen in years. After a moment of silence, he sighed. "I just want you to be happy, Mom. If this makes you happy, then I'll try to accept it." Winning hearts. Ethan's acceptance marked the beginning of a gradual shift. Sophia's other children, initially resistant, began to see the positive changes in their mother's life. She smiled more, her energy was renewed, and she pursued her baking business with Ryan's unwavering support. As time passed, Ryan and Sophia's bond started to soften even the hardest hearts in their community. People who once gossiped about them began to admire their resilience and the positivity they brought to each other's lives. Facing the future together. Sophia and Ryan decided not to focus on labels or societal expectations. Instead, they lived each day with gratitude, cherishing the moments they spent together. They became active in the community, organizing charity events and helping those in need, which earned them respect and admiration. Sophia's story inspired many people around her to break free from the chains of judgment and follow their hearts. She proved that life doesn't end at a certain age and that everyone deserves a chance at happiness, no matter how unconventional it might seem. Ending message *. Sophia and Ryan's journey wasn't without challenges, but their love and mutual respect helped them rise above societal norms. They taught those around them that happiness and companionship don't have to fit into predefined molds. This ending gives a hopeful and uplifting conclusion while addressing the societal and emotional complexities of their relationship. Let me know if you'd like any adjustments. With Ethan's cautious support and Sophia's determination to live life on her terms, things began to change. Over the next few months, Ryan became more integrated into Sophia's life. He helped her grow her small baking business, setting up an online presence and attracting new customers. Sophia, who had always been shy about technology, found herself learning new skills and feeling accomplished in ways she hadn't imagined. Their connection grew stronger as they tackled challenges together. Ryan admired Sophia's ability to remain calm under pressure, while Sophia appreciated Ryan's optimism and fresh perspective on life. Despite the progress, there were still hurdles, mainly the disapproving eyes of society. The gossip escalates. One afternoon, Sophia overheard her neighbors talking about her and Ryan. "She's old enough to be his mother. What kind of relationship is this? It's embarrassing for the community," another voice chimed in. Hurt but not broken, Sophia decided to confront the situation head-on. She invited her children and a few of her closest neighbors to her home for a gathering. Ryan, ever supportive, stood by her side as she addressed the group. "I understand your concerns," Sophia began. "This relationship might not fit into your idea of what's normal, but Ryan and I bring each other happiness and strength. Isn't that what everyone deserves in life?" Her words were met with silence at first, but Ethan stepped forward. "She's right. I was skeptical too, but I've seen how happy she is. Isn't that what matters most?" Gradually, some neighbors began to soften their stance. A few even apologized for their harsh judgments, while others walked away, unwilling to change their views. Sophia, however, felt lighter for having spoken her truth. #overcoming a test of love. As their bond deepened, Ryan faced a personal dilemma. He had received a job offer in another city, an opportunity to advance his career significantly. Torn between his ambitions and his connection with Sophia, he shared the news with her one evening. "You should go," Sophia said, her voice steady but her eyes betraying her sadness. "This is your chance to build a future. Don't let me hold you back." "But what about us?" Ryan asked, his voice tinged with doubt. "We'll figure it out," Sophia replied, placing a reassuring hand on his. Love doesn't depend on proximity. If it's real, it'll survive anything. Ryan eventually accepted the offer, and their relationship shifted to long distance. They kept in touch through daily calls, video chats, and occasional visits. Despite the challenges, their bond grew stronger. Ryan often shared his achievements with Sophia, crediting her for inspiring his determination and confidence. ####a community transformed. Over time, Sophia and Ryan's story began to inspire those around them. Neighbors who once criticized their relationship now saw the positive changes in their lives. Sophia became a mentor to younger women in the community, encouraging them to pursue their dreams regardless of age or circumstances. Her baking business flourished, and she began hosting workshops to teach others how to bake and start their own ventures. Ryan, too, contributed by helping local youth with career guidance and motivational sessions during his visits back home. The once judgmental community transformed into a more accepting and supportive environment, learning from Sophia and Ryan's courage to defy societal norms. ###a reunion to remember. 2 years later, Ryan returned to the neighborhood, not just for a visit, but for good. His career had reached new heights, and he now had the freedom to choose where he wanted to be. The first thing he did was visit Sophia. "Home doesn't feel like home without you," Ryan said, his eyes filled with emotion. Sophia smiled, tears glistening in her eyes. "You've always had a home here, Ryan." From that day forward, they continued their journey together, stronger than ever. Their story became a testament to the idea that love, respect, and happiness don't follow societal timelines. They're meant to be embraced whenever they come. Final note: Sophia and Ryan's story teaches us that happiness is worth fighting for, even when it challenges societal norms. Their courage not only changed their own lives but inspired those around them to see the world through a lens of compassion and acceptance. Would you like to add specific visuals or elements to enhance the storytelling for your YouTube audience? It's important to ensure the content remains respectful and suitable for all audiences, especially since you're planning to upload it to YouTube. Let me craft a romantic narrative that emphasizes emotional intimacy and connection while staying within appropriate and tasteful boundaries. ###a growing bond. As Sophia and Ryan spent more time together, their friendship began to blossom into something deeper. It wasn't rushed or planned, it was the kind of connection that grew naturally, born out of mutual respect and understanding. One evening, as they walked through the park, the sky painted in hues of orange and pink, Ryan looked at Sophia with a tenderness she hadn't seen in years. "You know," Ryan said softly, "there's something about you. You make me see the world differently, better, brighter." Sophia smiled, her cheeks flushing slightly. "I could say the same about you. It's been a long time since I felt this alive." They paused by a small bench under a blooming tree. The air was cool, but their hearts felt warm. Ryan reached for Sophia's hand, his touch gentle yet firm. "Do you ever wonder," he began, "why some people come into our lives just when we need them most?" Sophia met his gaze, her heart fluttering. "I do. And I've stopped questioning it. I'm just grateful." ###the first dance. One evening, during a power outage, Ryan brought over candles and a small speaker to Sophia's house. As the warm, flickering light filled the room, soft music played in the background. "Let's make this moment special," Ryan said, extending his hand to her. "Ryan, I haven't danced in years," Sophia laughed nervously. "Then let's change that," he replied with a playful smile. He pulled her gently to her feet, his arms wrapping around her waist. She rested her hands on his shoulders, their movements slow and unhurried. As they swayed to the music, the years between them seemed to fade away. "You're a natural," Ryan teased. "I think it's you," Sophia replied, her voice barely above a whisper. ###a quiet confession. On another quiet evening, they sat together in Sophia's living room, sharing stories about their pasts. Ryan noticed the way her face lit up when she spoke about her childhood dreams and how her voice softened when she mentioned her late husband. "You've been through so much," Ryan said, his voice filled with admiration. Sophia smiled wistfully. "Life hasn't always been kind, but it's taught me resilience." Ryan leaned closer, his eyes searching hers. "And yet, you still have so much love to give." That's what amazes me about you. For a moment, the world seemed to stand still. Ryan's hand brushed against Sophia's cheek, his touch light as a feather. She closed her eyes, savoring the rare, tender moment of being cherished again. ####a promise under the stars. One night, Ryan invited Sophia to a nearby hilltop to watch the stars. The city lights twinkled in the distance, but the sky above was a canvas of endless constellations. "This is my favorite place," Ryan said. "I used to come here to think, but now I wanted to share it with you." They sat side by side on a blanket, the cool breeze carrying the scent of wildflowers. As they gazed at the stars, Ryan reached for Sophia's hand. "You've brought so much light into my life, Sophia. I never thought I could feel this way about someone, especially someone like you," he said, his voice trembling slightly. Sophia turned to him, her heart full. "Someone like me? Someone so wise, so strong, so beautiful," Ryan replied. Sophia felt a tear slip down her cheek, not from sadness but from the overwhelming joy of being loved so deeply. Ryan gently wiped it away. "I don't care what anyone thinks. You're everything I've been looking for." Under the starlit sky, they shared their first kiss, soft, heartfelt, and filled with unspoken promises. Closing note on their romance asterisk. Their relationship wasn't built on grand gestures or fleeting passion. It was the quiet moments, the shared smiles, the comforting words, the feeling of being truly understood, that defined their love. Ryan and Sophia's romance was a testament to the fact that love doesn't recognize age or convention, it simply thrives where it is nurtured. This keeps the narrative romantic yet tasteful and suitable for a broad audience. Would you like to explore this further or make adjustments?